doing something. It seems like I always have more on my to-do list than I ever can get through. But when I have a farm, as you know, as you've learned, and you know, we were pulling a calf a week ago, and it just seems like there's always a project that needs attention. I have another avocation that I hesitate to even bring up, but I'm also a licensed tax consultant. And I don't do very many tax returns, but I do enjoy doing taxes. Most people would view that as a sickness of some sort. I certainly never aspired to be an administrator. No, I didn't even know what one was. And when 20 years ago, when I was a faculty member here and happened to be co-chair of the search committee for the president, and Peter Kohler, and as I was showing him around in one of his last visits, he said, "Do you like administration?" And I said, "Oh no." My lab calls it carpet land. That was kind of our view of the administration. And I said, "Seems to me the best administration is one that sort of gets barriers out of your way and lets you do your work." He says, "Well, then you'd probably be good at it. You should apply for this job." Yeah. It's a stewardship role, I think, where you're really trying to make sure that you optimize everything you can to deliver the most educational mission. It's a picture of when they were constructing the bridge over the Crooked River, and it shows a plank way up in the air with people trying to walk across it to bridge the two sides. And I found it, I guess, you know, on the floor in my office when I moved into it, but I've always kept it because I thought it was a metaphor for my job. I'm always trying to put programs together that have synergy, have something in common where together they can be bigger than either one of them can be alone. So I love it when there are problems to solve that you can solve by bringing people together. It seems to me that two things are just incredibly important. One is the academic rigor, that you see athletic programs, especially football, get in trouble when they don't insist on academic rigor, both in admissions and in retention. I mean, that if they aren't held to the same, if student athletes at football aren't held to the same standard as everyone else, and some might even say a higher standard, but certainly the same, then the program's doomed to failure. And the other thing is the business model has to work. And I see budgets all the time with optimistic revenue projections. It's a very easy way to build a budget and say you're going to make your budget by increasing your revenue line. And so you have to figure out if the business model is real. Nervous? I don't think so. Challenged, sure. I mean, I would much rather follow somebody who is a tough act to follow and have people say, "Well, you're not Dr. Phil." That's right. And you know, the next person isn't going to be, and that's going to be tough. On the other hand, you have this wonderful platform on which to build. And if you think about it as you know, whatever you like for a metaphor, a house where a couple stories have been built now, and it's a very exciting house, and you can begin to see what a wonderful house it is. Really, the next person has to kind of check it out, make sure the platform is stable. If there's a little chink somewhere, shore it up. But you basically are ready to go and take off and build the next story.